भैया आपने नोशन वाला पेज बनाया या
नहीं यार, मैंने नहीं किया क्रिएट।
तो क्या करना है इस बार कहीं और कर लो, फिर नोशन पे बाद में डाल दें, या कैसे कर ले?
हाँ हाँ ठीक है, चलेगा।
अबे मैं पैड किस पे बना दूंगा?
ईथर पैड तो गया ना, विकी मीडिया
अरे रिकॉर्ड का ऑप्शन मेरे में तो आ नहीं रहा है, किसमें रिकॉर्ड का ऑप्शन शायद से विपुल का आएगा।
ये तो YouTube पे लाइव स्ट्रीम
नहीं,
स्ट्रीमिंग कौन कर रहा था?
रिकॉर्ड का ऑप्शन कैसे आता है?
आज तारीख क्या है यार? 28 है।
28 मार्च।
विपुल
हाँ
विपुल का विपुल विपुल विपुल
क्या हुआ?
मैं कह रहा हूँ रिकॉर्ड का ऑप्शन आ रहा है।
नहीं सिर्फ एंटरप्राइज में होता है रिकॉर्ड वाला ऑप्शन।
वाह गूगल शिट।
हाँ वही पर
तो ये स्ट्रीम नहीं होगा गूगल YouTube पे?
स्ट्रीम नहीं होगा, हाँ, और ना रिकॉर्ड कर पाएंगे।
व्हाई?
बट मेरे पास लिंक आई है YouTube की अभी, जियोन मैंने भेजी है।
राजू भैया भी आ गए
यार मैं तो कर सकता हूँ लाइक भाई मैं तो OBS से कर सकता हूँ। स्ट्रीम करूँ क्या?
हाँ OBS से आप स्ट्रीम कर सकते
एटलीस्ट रिकॉर्ड कर ले।
गूगल को
यार
I mean-
मेरे लैपटॉप की लग जाएगी।
अभी
हाँ।
चल तो रहा है।
जिसकी रैम
अच्छा
कर दिया ना?
रैम ज्यादा वही करना, क्योंकि OBS बहुत
रिकॉर्ड ना करूँ? एक मिनट, रिकॉर्ड करूँ या ना करूँ?
स्ट्रीम हो रहा है ना? स्ट्रीम हो रहा है ना?
हाँ स्ट्रीम चेक कर लो एक बार, अगर हो रहा है तो सही है।
कूल
रिकॉर्ड भी है।
कूल 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 कूल।
चल तो रहा है, ये चल रहा है यहाँ पे। YouTube चेक करा मैंने अभी, चल रहा है, काम कर रहा है।
अबे लिंक है क्या?
नहीं वो ये रहा है।
हाँ स्ट्रीम हो रहा है, वही कह रहा हूँ, स्ट्रीम तो हो रहा है।
काफी स्लो है स्ट्रीम।
लिंक चैट पर डालना कोई यूट्यूब वाला।
टेलीग्राम पे पढ़ना।
टेलीग्राम पे देखो।
इधर चैट पर डाल दो।
चैट किधर है? यहाँ पे चैट किधर है?
राइट
चैट राइट, टॉप राइट।
मैं तो लिंक कहीं डाल भी नहीं सकता। ओ भाई मानव
माइक म्यूट कर दो।
यार मेरे ऑडियो में क्या प्रॉब्लम है? तो अभी कुछ दिक्कत आ रही थी, क्या सीन है?
अभी फिलहाल म्यूट।
मैंने
बहुत अच्छी आवाज आ रही है तेरी, ऐसा लग रहा है तू ट्रांसफॉर्मर बन गया।
माइक का बहुत ज्यादा हो रहा है।
किसी की भी आवाज ज्यादा आ रही हो तो वो म्यूट कर सकता हूँ किसी का भी, तो
या फिर माइक का वॉल्यूम थोड़ा कम करो।
हाँ
माइक का सेपरेट वॉल्यूम।
अरे राजू भैया,
राजू भैया को प्रणाम। अच्छा देखो 1 मिनट में शुरू हो रहा है मीटअप। आज रिमोट सेटअप और आई थिंक उसके बारे में बात थी। रिमोट सब कुछ रिमोट ही, मतलब जैसा जिसको
रिमोट वर्क
रिमोट गो।
नॉर्मल मीटअप की तरह ही करते हैं पहले, फिर सारे इंट्रोडक्शन। आ जाने दो सबको पहले। कैमरा खोल लो सब।
अच्छा मीटअप है तो मैं ये क्यों कर रहा हूँ? एक मिनट।
नॉर्मल मीटअप की तरह है तो फिर आधे घंटे बाद स्टार्ट होगी।
कैमरा खोलो भाई सब।
कैमरा खोल लो सब।
2.5 घंटे बाद शुरुआत होगी।
नॉर्मल मीटअप तो फिर स्टार्ट होगी 9:30 बजे।
मैं थोड़ा
लॉट
लेट
मीटअप
आता
तो शिवा अभी नहीं आएगा, शिवा अभी लीव कर।
भाई इससे बढ़िया जित्सी नहीं होता, इससे बढ़िया जित्सी नहीं होता।
क्या चीज?
एटलीस्ट तो सारे बंदे सामने दिखते तो हैं।
हाँ, वो कहाँ है? आई थिंक इसका वो वाला होता है, देख जहाँ बंदे आ रहे हैं ना उस पे क्लिक करते, आई थिंक सब ग्रिड बनी आ जाती है ना, ग्रिड वाला वो कहाँ होता है पता नहीं।
ग्रिड नहीं आ रही है।
चेंज लेआउट करके
है
होगा,
राइट साइड में है, राइट साइड में है।
चेंज लेआउट पे क्लिक कर, साइड बार वाला।
आ गए।
किधर?
गौरव भी आ गए।
बट उसमें खाली 4 ही आ रहे हैं।
अच्छा हाँ,
we have 15 people now. Cool.
And we have gone international.
Girish sir has also joined.
Gaurav sir,
Hi Gaurav, how are you?
seriously.
Hello. No, sir, it's me, just Gaurav.
How's condition there?
Nothing. I mean, pretty under control. Just 8,000 people, if you would say that.
Okay, that just is good.
Yeah. But actually, it's in South Holland. It's not here at all. In Amsterdam, there are barely 200 cases, so it's kind of okay. But yeah, actually, probably next week it will go in lockdown. So let's see what happens.
Can everyone stop talking at the same time?
Everyone can mute the mic and the one speaking can unmute and then speak. So
I think you just muted yourself. Well,
वो अपने आप को म्यूट करके बोल रहे हैं।
यार भैया म्यूट करके बोल रहा हूँ ना।
अंजीवा क्वारंटाइन का असर हुआ।
बट मेरे को अब याद आया, मैंने आई थिंक गौरव भैया को वहां भी देखा था, एज एन इंस्टाग्राम पे खूब आते रहते मैं, आई गेस। वही मेरे को अब याद आया कि हाँ ILD में मिले थे हम लोग।
So you're still like going to work or working from your home?
Me? I'm still working from. Everyone in my office is working from home.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, we just got our monitor here in from the office, and yeah, pretty office kind of environment. We do drinks on Friday, remotely. That works.
Yeah, I also participated in beer with bot grinder session yesterday. It was good. Everyone cheering up for the beer, but I cheered from coffee.
Yeah. Did anyone use the Zoom before?
Yeah, so tomorrow we're gonna use Zoom. Like, don't have the commercial license, so we can accommodate less people, and it shutdowns in 50 minutes, which I believe for the free version. But for tomorrow meetup, we got the Zoom from Hackaday, who used to have this commercial unlimited version, and we're gonna use that. We were on the one of the US shows yesterday, and there were a lot of Zoom trollers who started streaming some pornographic NSFW content while the meetup was going on. So that was pretty scary. But then everyone figured out things, how to lock down the meeting, and just allow people to introduce them before entering. The idea now we are having is to have a server where someone can log in and they can enter the join URL, and whoever want to join, he or she will have to first go to the server, answer one question related to the meetup, and then they will redirect to the Zoom URL. Otherwise, they cannot.
Look, can't we just like go live on YouTube and like in the main Zoom page we can only have the speakers, and then everyone else can join on the YouTube live and just ask questions in the chat.
That depends on what kind of meetup you are having. So yesterday we were having show and tell. So show and tell, they want everyone to come together and talk about their project. So it was necessary to have all at once, and suddenly some random kids, I don't know from where, arrive and they started trolling.
Never mind.
See, yeah.
We had a similar meetup, like GoToMeeting, like Alok says. We had just speakers there in administrative privilege, and if someone wants to ask a question or something, they can put their question on a chat board. So if you want to run that kind of a meetup, then yeah, that could be something that we can think of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the model Adafruit Adopt is like quite good. So they have been doing show and tell every week for like past 7-8 years, and what they do is they only invite the people who are interested in showing some a project, and they take one at a time. So everyone is in a queue, and whoever wants to go for next show and tell, they invite them, and then they drop and invite the next one. So that is a good model if we want to do show and tell. But I don't think if like this kind of meetup where we just want to hang around and talk, I don't know if that is suitable or not.
Yeah.
So we had a meetup in the morning of Pi Jaipur. Around 10 people joined in. It was close to a regular meetup. We had 2 talks, discussions in between, and questions and stuff. And in Jitsi, it has the hand option. Like if someone wants to speak, they can click a button and it tells the speaker
Yeah.
that someone wants to speak. It was pretty good. It has no restrictions. Any number of people can join. And it worked pretty well for us in the morning. Maybe you could try that for a regular meetup, and you could use Zeolip for all the chats and questions or in order, or all the notes.
Yeah, that's good, but the trollers won't be pressing that button. They'll start trolling straight away.
Well, we could lock down the room in there as well.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
it's actually possible to lock down the room.
If you
So
find someone,
what?
if you find someone trolling, then just kick them out.
So the thing is, we were doing this kind of thing for like past a week or so, but as soon as Hacker Day started retweeting the tweets, the trollers joined. So Hacker Day have some good following, I guess, around 50-60,000 people. So a lot of them would be people who are not, directly interested in the stuff. So yeah, maybe that's one issue, but. So there's also one more thing in Zoom that was annoying. So whenever someone starts sharing the screen, it automatically turns to full screen.
Yeah.
So that also
When,
needs to
when
be
you're
figured
using a
out.
window manager, it just annoys the hell out of you.
Yeah, that also needs to be figured out. So anyway, let's start with an introduction. Who all are here? I see a lot of folks. 18 people have joined so far. It would be really good if you can all open your cameras and so. How things are where you are from? I think most people are from Delhi NCR area, but yes, we have Gaurav from Netherlands. Girish sir, I believe, is in Gurgaon. So yes, how things are in your area? How you are holding up with quarantine and what's happening around?
Well, I'll take the lead if in case everyone's still thinking.
Sure.
So Gurgaon is clean, yeah. It looks beautiful. It looks, I'm seeing blue skies. I'm seeing green plants, and the dust is gone. So
Amazing.
that's how it is.
Amazing. We had Anul this evening joining from Mumbai, and he shared some photos where dolphin appeared to be in Marine Drive, which is like a very rare sight to see. So nature is rebuilding.
Sweet.
Yep. What about others?
So I think one of us can just see the member list and ask everyone in the member list to introduce themselves.
Yeah, sure. So I'll start with my introduction if it goes to be a normal meetup. So the idea behind having a virtual meetup is, of course, to have everyone hang out together. We used to have a meetup twice a month at ILFD and Hardware Hackers Club, but of course, everyone is advised to social distance. So we are doing this virtual meetups. This is a small test kind of meetup we have to do because tomorrow we are having a big show and tell. So the idea is we collaborated with hackerday.com. Hackerday, basically a maker platform where you can share your project. You can see different people sharing projects and hacks. So hackerday.com, hackerday.io is the platform. Tomorrow we're going to have a show and tell session with them on Zoom, and there would be a lot of people joining from around the globe and talking about their project. So I hope every one of you can also join tomorrow. Regarding today, just a normal meetup, and the focus is to talk about the remote work and everything going remote. If I think there are a couple of people who are freelancing remotely in this set of folks joined, so they can talk about their setups. And if anyone is willing to show their work from home setup, please feel free to show that. So that is the today's agenda. And today's meetup, we are collaborating with Notion Daily. Notion is again a productivity tool if you are using, so you can talk about that if you are using Notion and how you are using in your workflow. about me, I'm a software engineer by profession. Do a lot of electronics and open source software things. So maybe we can now move to Ajax.
सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट भैया, मेरा कोई फ्रेंड है वो कॉल ज्वाइन करने की कोशिश कर रहा है और रूम फिल हो गया है.
We have good capacity, I believe.
I guess.
Oh,
No,
abhi
16.
Failed to join meeting आ रहा है.
Wait, someone just joined. Like,
Anime is joining right now.
So I don't think so.
Yeah.
मतलब मोबाइल ऐप पे कुछ प्रॉब्लम है क्या? मतलब मैं खुद भी ट्राई कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि मुझे अपना सेटअप भी दिखाना होगा आगे शो एंड टेल के लिए, तो मोबाइल ऐप पे मैं ज्वाइन नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ.
ब्राउजर से ट्राई कर.
मोबाइल ऐप में प्रॉब्लम
Browsers-
है बिकॉज उसमें शायद सिर्फ ऑडियो सपोर्ट है, नॉट द वीडियो सपोर्ट है. आई एम नॉट श्योर बट आई थिंक यही है. एक बार चेक कर लो.
मैं तो
ठीक है, चलो थैंक
यू. मैंने फोन से ज्वाइन किया.
मैं
join
भी तो उसमें आ रहा था कि join, you can join with video from the browser, and if you want to join from call, you'll have to join from the phone.
Okay.
I guess we should continue with the introductions. Akansha is here.
Everyone mute and the one talking can unmute. So Kansha Agrawal is here. Can you introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Akansha Agrawal. Wait, am I audible though?
Yes, you are.
Okay. I'm currently studying in my first year and trying not to go crazy quarantine at home. Other than that, I like electronics, hardware, generative art, and creative coding. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Right.
Ajax.
So I guess I'm Shobit with ILFD for like past 2 years, I guess. And I studied in Bangalore, maths major, not a computer science major. But like I've been using Linux like as my primary OS for a long time, so that's like why I joined ILFD and all. That's my basic major interest. So that's about it.
All right. Next we have Alok.
Okay, I'm Alok. So I've been in ILFD for like a year now. So I'm in my final year. So would have been graduating in the upcoming next 2 months, but I don't know how things gonna turn out right now. And apart from that, yeah, Zion Zolt asked me to introduce him as well. So we also have Zion Zolt in this call. His name is Harsh Latwal, and he has been contributing to Posh Asia for like 3 years now, and he works in Gurgaon. That's it.
Okay. Hope you graduate and get your degree on time. Next we have Animesh Verma. Animesh, can you introduce yourself? Animesh, can you hear me?
I think Vipul भैया muted him, so वो शायद unmute जब तक विपुल भैया नहीं करेंगे तब तक नहीं चलेगा.
Got it. I'm audible?
Yeah, you're audible, Animesh.
Okay. Hey. So,
Hi.
hey everyone. I'm Animesh Verma, and I'm currently in Bangalore. I'm working
Oh,
with.
you're in Bangalore. How things are in Bangalore related to COVID-19?
Well, first time in history we're seeing zero traffic in Bangalore.
Crazy.
Yeah. And
That's
yeah,
good.
there's complete lockdown. So
Hope you are seeing zero traffic from your home.
yeah, actually my PG is kind of away from the main road. So
Awesome.
Hello everyone.
hello Priya sir.
How are you?
Hi,
Yeah, I'm
Priya
great.
sir. How are you?
Hello.
So we're just doing the introduction, and we are in people whose names start from A. They're introducing themselves, and hopefully we'll come to you in a bit. Anshul Kilgarni, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, this is Anshul. I'm actually Anshul Khilrani. I'm from Bhopal, and I have been a developer for some time. Like I develop mobile apps and stuff. I want to get into cybersecurity, which brought me to Linux. So that's about it.
Awesome. Hey, one request, everyone can, if they can open the camera, that would be really great to see.
Yeah, actually there's some driver problem or something in my laptop. मैंने try किया था fix करने का, वो हुआ नहीं, तो I'm kind of stuck.
Okay, so whoever can open their webcam, please do. Next we have Gaurav from Netherlands. Gaurav, small introduction.
Oh yeah, hello everyone. I'm Gaurav. I'm a web developer full stack in JavaScript and Python. I'm here in Amsterdam. I was with iLuckD in 2018. I was there attending meetups. It was pretty fun. I miss these guys. So I just saw the
miss
tweet
you
and I. Sorry.
We all miss you too.
We miss you too, Gaurav.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. But in Amsterdam, so a number of cases are pretty much high here in Netherlands, which is not a good thing. But in my company, everyone is working from home, and I do minimal people interaction. So probably once in 10 days, I will go for groceries and stuff. But apart from that, people are still not serious here. People are going out regularly. It's not strict as India. No one is beating anyone, so they will probably get some 150 euros fine, and that's all.
Oh man, you think that things are strict here? Okay, police walas are beating everyone, but everyone is out. All right, in my area, everyone is out.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like I saw 2-3 people from my office were sending me videos from India where they had these sticks, and I said, yeah, they are strict in India. They were pretty happy to see something happening in India which is strict. I said, it's we probably don't have real numbers, but here for today we have 8,500 people. So probably next week it will be a lockdown. Or
I think it's little better than Germany. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, Germany has 30,000, and
oh my God.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah. Gonna go back to so Aishwarya Suresh just joined.
Aishwarya
Aishwarya, would
joined,
you like to introduce yourself?
Well, hello, I'm Aishwarya. I'm in first year right now. I'm from IGTTW. So basically BTech IT, and I'm hustling with. I'm not sure what's happening in the college right now.
Welcome, great to have you here.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's my first time.
Yep, welcome. We have Giri Sarwal, sir. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi guys, my name is Girish Sarwal. What do I tell you about myself? I've been into computing for 16 years now. I worked for about 12 years and now I have my own game studio. My primary interests are electronics, game development, and anything that's real time, so systems, drivers, etc., etc.
Aero modeling.
Please don't ask me. Aero modeling is another of my hobbies. So yeah, I love to make planes and I love to put things in the air. So that's about me. I mean, I'm really, you guys can catch me on Twitter. You guys can catch me on LinkedIn. I'm not very active on Facebook. So that's it.
Yeah, awesome. Great to have you here.
You guys will get to know me more as I keep on attending this. I'm new to ILMD, by the way.
Awesome. So Harsh has already introduced via Alok, and he's also managing the YouTube stream. So I will not disturb you, and we'll move to Manas. Manas, are you there? Yeah.
Yep. Hi, myself Manas. I was in ILG from past 3 years and not into meetups from last 4 months. I was a bit busy, so quarantine, and I got some time today, Saturday, so I'm into it.
Awesome. We have Manav next.
So, hi everyone. Am I audible?
Yeah.
So, hi everyone. I'm Manav. I am a first year from IP University Delhi. I am mainly and data science. That's meant.
And you're also doing a show and tell tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'm doing a show and tell tomorrow.
Okay. Next we have Nikhil Kumar, aka Mason.
Hello everyone, I am Nikhil and I am a full-time graphic designer at Software Freedom Law Center, Delhi. I am in my first year BCA with IGNU and I am just learning how computer works day by day. Thank you.
That's a pretty down to earth introduction compared to things to do. But
Very
yeah,
slow on that too.
quite modest. Okay.
What,
So we
what
have,
about that? Yeah, I don't agree with the introduction here.
yeah,
Yeah,
even
okay, alright, let's continue.
okay. So he's the one who hacked Baba Ramdev version of WhatsApp, by the way.
ये हर
I'll
जगह
just
आना
add
क्यों
this.
जरूरी है? Let's
I'll
continue.
I'll just add this. Okay. Next we have Priya Ranjan sir from Amity University. Hi sir, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you guys?
Pretty good. How are you holding up with quarantine?
Oh, well, I'm doing fine. I live on campus, so no issues. Everything is closed. Nobody can come in, and we generally don't go out. So it works out.
So still the classes are still going online?
Online. Everything is online. Now Zooming is booming.
Awesome, awesome. Great to hear. Great to hear. So maybe we can have a small introduction about yourself.
Yeah. So my name is Priya Ranjan. I did my electrical engineering from IIT Kharagpur, but I've been a Linux enthusiast in 1995 with Unix on a 385 by HCL. So it's been now golden sort of 25 years. And I again, after coming to SRM, I have started a Linux club, which is the most popular one. Students may not go to class, but they come for Linux. So slowly we are catching up, and I think pretty much sooner or later Linux is going to be the universal operating system one way or the other. So that's what it is.
Awesome. Awesome. Every year is the year of Linux.
Yeah.
Next we have Raju Dev with us.
Hi everyone, I'm Raju. I live in Delhi. I'm stuck here for I was like already in self-isolation because we were taking precautions. I was in home for like 2-3 weeks, and then suddenly the lockdown happened, and I'm going to stay another 3 weeks. Hopefully, not more than that, if it takes. Yeah. So I work as a technologist or at Software Freedom Law Center. I do a bit of robotics sometimes, not much these days, but I have done a bit of robotics. I kind of do a lot smaller stuff everywhere. I do web development, robotics, mostly system administration, containers and stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much.
Before going to Rucha, Ayush just joined in. Ayush Mittal, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. Ayush here. So I am working with Linux for like around 2-3 years, and I'm currently a fourth year. I'm currently in fourth year doing my BTech from Maharaja Surajam Institute of Technology. Yeah. Hello.
Awesome. Next we can have Ruchika.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey. I was just testing the mic, but okay. So hi, I'm Ruchika from third year. Studying computer science engineering from Delhi. And
Just a second. So everyone who is not talking, can you please mute your mic? Yeah.
okay, so I design and I develop also. So I think that's pretty much about it. But mostly I design websites, and I am a freelance website developer, website designer, not a developer. If anyone says a developer, I'm going to sue you. And also I develop occasionally in React, and I'm also a contributor in Mainframe and Fedora, and also Mozilla sometimes. So that's pretty much about me, and you can ask anything you want. Okay.
Yeah, so I have one question for you. How long will it take to develop the vaccine for this coronavirus? Since you said you can ask me anything.
That is a bro moment, all right. Let's continue with the introduction.
I will
Next,
give you
yeah.
one of the piece of information that some students from Hyderabad University, I guess, they have developed something which is not exactly a vaccine but some kind of cure, and also some of the like it was an update from today morning that some of the COVID-19 kits have been developed. So I think that's something that I can give you for right now. But
Good
let's
to
see.
know. Yeah. Shivam, Tetra Zero.
Hi guys and girls. I'm Shivam. I'm an embedded software engineer. Right now I'm in balcony because my room is captured by my friends who are playing PUBG.
Awesome. Awesome. Next we have Soumya.
Hello everyone.
Hi Soumya. Yes, you are.
Devin.
Yeah.
Hello. I'm a software engineer and I graduated from Maharaja Suratmal this year. Oh, sorry, previous year. It's been 2020 now. And I've been part of community for around 2 years now, and it's been a great learning journey.
Awesome. Next we have the main control of this meetup, Vipul. Hi Vipul.
Hi.
Get a bunch of reading. It's about 200 to 300 pages of reading each week, and then critically analyzing that text and doing that. So I think so. My lectures are discussion based. For discrete maths, the teacher has to write stuff, and he's currently using MS Paint for that for some reason. So that's interesting.
I
But
think using an iPad with an Apple Pencil could solve this issue. What do you think?
yeah, everyone's not rich.
No, like I believe that Ashoka University and Amity University can provide the faculties with that.
Yeah, we have technical courses, and for the computer science one, so my prof is using a REPL.
Yeah, actually same.
You,
Read, evaluate, print loop.
yeah.
No,
REPL.it.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's an online compiler. So one of the best things I know about REPL is they provide a whole container while compiling the environment. So you can do a lot of things in that container, not just compile things. Yeah,
makes
so
sense.
I do actually exploit it. So when I'm on Windows, I need to access somewhere quick and fast. I just open REPL and use my sh commands and everything. It's good.
But I think one problem with REPL is it does not have it. So Python 3. So a lot of string formatting for Python 3 isn't available on it. I mean, it's a little outdated.
No, it's not. You're probably using Python too.
Yeah, so I think the version of Python you're using is the wrong one. So it's like if you're using the correct version of Python, it will behave exactly.
Really? Okay, I'll check.
So I remember when I was so if there is some software which can allow you to mirror your phone to your laptop, right? So for example, you are having an Android phone, you can mirror the Android phone screen to your laptop. So if you're sharing a laptop screen and on your Android phone, you can open a note-taking app and you can draw using a stylus. So you can, it's a very quick and cheap hack to do some doodling while teaching.
Yeah, so one of the better ways I've seen people do this is like just keep a large bunch of A4 sheets on your desk and just position the camera so that the camera sees the A4 sheets and just draw on the things, right? So
yeah, that is NPTEL,
right.
NPTEL version of it. Yeah, so yeah, good to hear about you exploring things. Maybe Gaurav can talk about how is his experience being a web developer working remotely. I think that could be a bit better compared to what students and teachers are facing.
Oh yeah. So in my case, there has been not much change in productivity or anything. because we were all already in the cloud from starting our stand-ups online to doing our retrospective or sprint planning. So it hasn't changed much. The only thing we miss is water cooler talks and Friday drinks. So that's all. So it starts with like 9:30. We have stand up and we discuss what we're gonna do. Everyone discuss what they're gonna do, and that at the end, if you have any doubts, you will just start using Teams. Slack has been very helpful because it's more kind of social thing. So people were used to it, but it's just that human touch is missing. So that's all.
So what's your team size? I'm just curious.
My team size is 5 people.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the workplace where I work on, it is around 900 people, and today we just broke the VPN.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
actually we had VPN, but we actually move away from VPN by taking our whole application to the cloud directly.
Yeah, that's
so the VPN we use is just for internal use, for customer care and stuff. But everyone else is we have migrated our all applications, including Jira, Confluence, and proprietary softwares. So it has been actually not much in change in productivity, so it's going good. But I can understand the pain of students and teachers there, because they literally need focus, or they need to use the pen and paper, and they can't use that. So
yeah. Raju is also, I think, doing a lot of DevOps. So is it same for you, productivity and working remotely?
I would say the productivity has been hampered, not because of remote. I can work remote. The thing is, a long self-isolation, and when you are living alone for over 3 weeks, there is, at times you are working, you get distracted to many things, and isolation has its own effects. So that is one of the things. If I could have had time to go out, or had an option to go out, maybe that could have been better. So that is one of the things that is affecting.
Yeah, we're experiencing the same thing here.
I'll talk about my experiences working remote, because my work involves a lot around tweaking with hardware. So I guess almost for 2-3 years now, the company has been trying to make a framework kind of thing, so we can access the targets, the boards remotely. So most of our boards are embedded Linux board, and we have facilities of SSH and different remote access things. And I think from 2 to 3 years we have been working on setting up a remote bench setup where we can test the target, we can access the target, we can reboot it. So for the reboot, we have this remote relays. So what you can do, you can power cycle the target, you can turn it off, you can turn it on. To get the boot console, we are using a package called Cert2Net. So it provides you serial console or telnet. That is pretty much it. What we are missing is a USB control. We cannot plug in and plug out the devices from USB. Technically, we can, but the solution which we made is not that much scalable. So there are a couple of people in the office who are supporting us by being there. So if we want to, insert a pen drive into a particular target, we call them and they do the thing. So that is there, but again, that is not the right solution. So definitely one good thing that came out of this everything happening around the world is getting to know where your solution is not perfect, and when you go back to work, you can work on that thing as well. So as a hardware person, that is something which I identified working remote. Anyone else is in like using some hardware remotely and want to share experience?
I have a generic question here. So how are people keeping healthy themselves? Like here I actually just go for a run in the morning or evening, where there is not crowd at all. but how everyone else is doing, because I miss gym. That is there for sure. So I'm just curious on that part.
Well, I'm just controlling my diet. That's how I'm doing it.
Yeah, so basically I do in-place running when I'm like just bored or bored like hell. I just do in-place running, and yeah, that's it.
I thought you'll say I'm running in PUBG.
And
yeah.
So if you have this much time to game, you don't game, right? So you want to game when you don't have time to game, but when you have a lot of time to game, you stop gaming. So that's the point with me. Right? The appeal of gaming like just degrades over time.
We don't have the option of running around even in mornings and stuff. So we definitely miss that. We definitely miss gyms. So not much in terms of fitness, but yeah, I sometimes try to follow along exercises. There are so many on YouTube and other apps. There is Cult.fit. They have like made all their exercise routines free. You can just start and follow a certain routine for different kind of people. So you can check the Cult.fit thing. It's good. And I'm keeping a check on my diet. Like I'm cooking myself. I have to cook myself. So I keep trying different things most of the time.
Yeah, talking about free, there are a lot of services which offered their premium services for free.
Yep.
Again, another good thing.
Something that I wanted to add here, like as in we were starting to write down all of this, right? Somewhere. Where is that page?
I have no idea.
Aapne, like you were just writing somewhere. So
Me, no, not me. I think Mason was doing that.
like we can still write, but as in has someone started? So I can just start, I guess.
I started that, but I then realized that it is a meetup, not a
Yeah.
computer or something.
Right.
So I just lose it.
No,
I
as in we can
believe
summarize all the points.
I believe we are having a recording of everything. We can
Yeah,
refer to
I
that.
realized
Yeah.
that. Yep.
It's live, I think.
Yeah. So, what's up with you folks? Are you working on any project or something? You want to talk about that before we move to everyone showcasing their work setups? Any project you want to talk about?
We, as in with remote working, I think one of the things that I had a problem with was as the team that I work with usually is we write documentation somewhere else. We write it remotely, but all the people that I write documentation for are actually in office. So with going remote, I think it's a bit of a asynchronous communication coming in, where people are just not there. Like in offices, you have a very instant communication. If you're stuck, you can just talk to that guy or talk to that team member who can help you out with the question. But with asynchronous communication coming in, I think it's a bit of a change where you have to wait for the answer, and the wait can be 1 minute to 1 hour to
or something. I think
I think that's a small privilege which comes with freelancing. You can mention that
Yeah.
only 2 revision or 3 revisions allowed, but for someone working full time, they cannot say that.
I can't say that. No, they will kick me out.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think what you can do is you can also you can probably have a collaborating platform, maybe like Notion or Google Docs simply, so they can list their changes and you can actually cross check those changes. You keep making those changes and cross check them. So I think maybe it will work. I think it should work.
So
अभी भी वही कर रहा हूँ मैं.
I have been I have been working remotely for more than 3 years now, to be honest with you, since I got into my own studio. And because we don't really have our setup is entirely virtual. 2 takeaways that I feel working remotely. So this is not new to me. This thing is really not affecting me at the moment. But 2 takeaways that I really have about working remotely. One, I think everyone has to move out of the publish subscribe model and get into polling. So be after your people. Keep talking to them, even if you have to bug them like 10 times in a day. Keep calling them, keep talking to them, keep the communication channels open.
Yeah.
That's one. The second thing that I've realized is working remotely. Like Ruchika, you mentioned that have a collaboration portal. I think that works really well. Have everything documented, have everything on emails, have everything on, on the collaborative portal. So I think these are two takeaways that I have learned over the past 3 years that really work. One,
Yeah.
Keep talking to people. Second, have everything on record. That's what
Yeah,
I
and
feel.
also I think at times when you're working remotely, it also matters. Like, let's suppose I've been working with some of the communities. Let's suppose, let's take the example of Fedora. So I'm working with Fedora, and one of our mentors didn't review any of the, like, you can see the pull request or something in the developer's language for like 1 week worried and stuff. So today she came up and she actually like stated what her problems were and something that's going on with her. So I think it really matters, even like having off topic things being discussed. So we are actually having this meetup. So there are some extrovert people in the group. So what she did was she actually organized a meetup so that we don't feel left out, because we need we feel the need to talk and talk and talk. So she's like, all the extrovert people join this group, and you can talk about whatever the need you feel to talk or something, just discussing normal stuff. So we just we shared the stuff that we are doing in this quarantine until weather, you can say whatever. So I think it even matters to discuss even some, even if it's going off topic, it does I think extend your time of working. But I think it's kind of important. It will actually help you out, guys, help you guys bond together, not like robots but like actual humans, maybe.
Yep.
So I think it also matters. And also the main thing would be deadlines. So I think clearly communicating the deadlines and not expecting the designer or the mentor to have the stuff ready in a minute or something. So I think that's important. You should actually have your deadlines pretty sorted out. Probably if it's for a month, that's really good. Even if not, then I think bi-weekly should actually be there. They should have an idea of what's going on, and the other person should also, so that he can also manage his time accordingly. Those are the 2 or 3 main points that I would like to mention. And yes, obviously the communication thing. So even your thought process, I think it should also go there. What you are thinking of, any idea or something, if you want to go into details, so other people can iterations to it or something. So a good platform for it
Yeah.
could be Trello for collaboration, I think. So Trello actually, I'm not taking sides or anything, but I think a good collaborating platform should actually have like you can say sort things from topic to topic, and have a working timeline over it. So that's what I think.
So, guys,
Yeah.
one of the other things, I mean, call me old school, but trust me, the best collaborating platform that I have seen, at least with small teams less than 10 size, is WhatsApp. It
That's so
works.
true.
It works
Yep.
every damn time. A group on WhatsApp works every damn time.
Yep.
That's what I feel.
Yeah.
True, very true.
Yeah, you should
Yeah.
never have a group on WhatsApp. Never ever.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's the
I
benefit.
also agree on what Greece said on day-to-day life.
That is
All
true.
right.
Yeah.
All right. One more thing. Why are we only like 7-8 people talking? बाकी लोग क्या कर रहे हो बैठे हुए? This is a normal chill meetup. You can talk about stuff here.
I'm in kitchen
Yeah.
making.
Yeah, Shivam was going for something.
I'm in kitchen.
Okay.
एक कप चाय मेरे लिए भी.
Everyone
So,
get remote.
what about some events which got cancelled, which you had plans of attending? I know PyCon US got cancelled. That's one. A couple of folks looking forward to.
So we have a
Yeah,
DevConf in
here we
July,
have.
and I'm hoping everything stabilizes, gets back by July.
Okay, DevConf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Is it?
hopefully I still get to go to DevConf, unlike others who have missed their PyCon US or other PyCon
Yeah.
events.
One of the biggest conference that cancelled was Open Hardware Summit, which was the 10th year anniversary this time, and that was not cancelled, but they were like very agile towards this approach of COVID-19, and they moved entire conference online within a week. So again, a huge thing to do.
Isn't that conference in Seattle still happened on open source? What's it called? Like
OSI.
As an OSI did happen, but that Linux conference still happened. Like it was something called Build Larger or something.
That was
I
in
will
January.
put the link.
I do not know what's with these conferences in India, because when this corona outbreak was going on in India, Nalcon was there in Goa.
Did Nalcon happen?
Nalcon happened this year.
Yeah, Nalcon happened.
On a
But
very
Nalcon-
large scale. I do not know how those people managed. I
That
guess
was before
when-
this self-isolation thing was
Yeah, Nalcon,
actually
when it
forced on.
happened, it was just on the increase. So like
Yeah.
10 cases mostly, not even 10 cases. I think it was.
Yeah, that was the starting of the outbreak in India.
But yeah, Nalcon
So
was.
is there any conference which recently cancelled in India, or like it's about to come?
I can report over PyCon India. We are
Yeah,
quite
PyCon India seems to be quite.
PyCon India is quite tense, and we had a very big call where everyone joined in. Think about, like, we had like several options on the field. We can have a smaller conference. We can have a online
CFPs has been delayed already, right?
we thought, like, why not have CFPs already there, because
Yeah.
having CFPs is like not a big issue. Like, even if the conference does not happen, we can still have CFPs, and we have notified all the people that are applying that the conference may or may not happen. The conference can also go virtual. So we have notified all of them. One of the conferences that I've been affected with was KubeCon, and I had booked all the tickets, I've booked all the hotels, and now I'm,
That was
calling.
for Kubernetes or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wrote a lot of documentation this year for Aquasec and Metricfire. So
Okay.
Metricfire is one of the sponsors for KubeCon. So they wanted to have a contract now, and since I will be working full time, so I am like with the discussion that was going on with working open source contribution remotely,
Right.
or freelancing remotely, or in a contract remotely, and then full time remotely. I'm very happy with all four of them now, and pretty sure I would all suggest that I think freelancing remotely, if you have a very good client and you are freelancing remotely, that I would like to do. That's the only thing that is the best foolproof way of working remotely.
Dude, don't.
I have a very good client, I guess. They really
Yeah,
like
at
it.
least
But yeah,
when you're having advance, only then. Otherwise, it's not.
yep.
Really.
There are
I
there are all type of cases everyone experienced.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can.
So, like, I've had two of these cases where I was a beginner and no one paid. I'm like, what the hell?
That's okay. That's lesson you learn.
All right. Guys.
Yeah, coming
Again,
back to the
we
event.
only 8-9 people are talking. Do something. Baki boy bulwao.
chai bani,
So,
chai bani.
Sriram Jai bhai.
चाय नहीं सब्जी बना रहा हूँ.
But what we can do is सब share करो. मतलब what projects are you working on, something. If you want, मतलब if you think you can share that, please do.
So दो चीजें थी. एक तो एकेडमी भी इस साल कैंसिल हो गई. एकेडमी वाज सपोज टू हैपन इन सितंबर, और वो भी अभी डिक्लेयर हो चुका है कि ऑनलाइन ही होगा जो भी होगा.
Academy
that
was
was difference.
in Italy, ना इस साल?
नहीं, इटली वाज लास्ट ईयर. इस साल प्रॉबेबली बर्लिन, बट कंफर्म नहीं था.
मत जाओ.
बर्लिन या प्रॉग था उसमें.
यार मॉसफेस्ट भी
नहीं,
कैंसिल
हाँ
हो
तो क्या
मॉसफेस्ट भी तो कैंसिल हो रही होगी. As in मॉसफेस्ट was in October as well, but they are shifting from London to Amsterdam now, I guess. Yeah, Mozilla
I don't think it's cancelled.
No. As in, Mozilla conference is just being planned, and it will happen in October. So it's like outside of the danger zone now.
Yeah.
So there's this reverse engineering conference hosted by Radari.org, R2Con. The name is R2Con. So basically, they were going to decide the location for that, like the past month, but because of Corona, they are not going to do it this year. Sadly.
I think that happens in one of the Baltic countries, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, it always happens near Germany and all.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly, because the
one time it
author.
happened in Belgrade.
Yeah, because the author and like the Triple C community is over there. Triple C is the main contributor in Radari too. That's the reason.
Right.
What I think is, like, since we don't have like a like raise your arm platform like this, like for people who want to speak and like just write on chat that I want to speak and we'll give you the opportunity.
Sure.
Oh, they can directly turn their mic on and speak. This is
Yeah,
not
so
this is
sometimes
a casual thing.
sometimes it's like for like real like I don't know what we say, like let's say introverts, like they don't like interrupting people. Like so they just keep waiting for the chance and like
Yeah,
it
both
comes.
Those who are
options are there.
not speaking, please feel free to disturb us.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
start
this
and
is
then
this is
we'll
why I'm
stop.
saying that let's again ask everyone what projects are they working on, so they will have a chance to talk.
You want to do a round robin or something?
Let's do.
Yes.
Yeah, that
So,
could be great.
a lot of OS and embedded things right now.
So I was reading.
Yeah, Shivam was saying something. Shivam, go.
Yeah. So I was reading an article on astronomy. So I had a question of like.
Mm,
Is it audible?
not very clear, but
Yeah, man, you have to send
So-
a
so- so-
photo on Telegram, maybe.
yeah.
Okay. So the question is, if the Earth is moving around the Sun with the velocity of 29.8 kilometer per second, and Sun is moving around the center of Milky Way with 220 kilometer per second, with the velocity of. So what is the relative speed of Earth with the Milky Way? If
I
anyone
think you're on
wants to
wrong
solve
call.
this,
काफी तेज होगी काफी तेज होगी
Wait, I will
Refer
contact.
to NASA. Refer to NASA.
I will contact the subunit of physics and I
Am I
will
on
give
the
you the
wrong call?
link to that.
Am I on the wrong call?
CVAM probably वो कर रहा है, like you have 4 apples and Girish has 7 apples. So what is the distance between Earth and Sun?
Yeah, I have some comments to make on this question. I'm not sure if I'm correct, but मेरे ख्याल से I don't think that there can be a specified relative velocity here because both of them are going in circles.
Yeah.
So the angular velocity को अगर आप consider करते हो तो मेरे ख्याल से it will be different. It will be there can be an instantaneous velocity, but I don't think there can be a specified velocity for the planet. That's what I believe.
Yeah, welcome
I'm
to
trying to
India,
solve this.
dude. Welcome to India Astronomy and Physics User Group, Delhi.
No, Earth is saying I'm working remotely, so my velocity will vary.
Dude.
इसरो का मीटअप करवाना पड़ेगा यहाँ पे.
हम करते हैं.
ISRO is
Wait. Vipul, मैं काफी देर से देख रहा हूँ. See, Vipul, you are triggering my OCD. Your microphone is on right side. You are always using your left side. That is wire. That is not a microphone. Why are you doing
नहीं
that?
ये रहा मेरा माइक्रोफोन.
हाँ तुम बार-बार उस पार को क्यों लेकर आते हो अपने मुंह के पास?
अच्छा ठीक है ये ले.
Guys, I have a question. I have a question which is like coming back to Earth. I have a question. I'm currently working on a project wherein we have a hardware chip, and we are generating a lot of logs on the board. Now the thing is that ultimately the chip only has 2 MB of flash available. So what happens is that the logs are definitely going to fill up very soon. 2 MB is nothing for logs. So we figured out a way of shipping the logs back to our server. That's working. However, the thing that I'm stuck on right now is that I want a way of log rotation on the chip because each log because the chip degrades in performance when writing a file. So now the problem is that I would like to keep my log files very small, maybe 512 KB or a max of 1 MB, and then have a log rotation mechanism. So I wanted to know if you guys know of any good C library that's that can do this. Otherwise, I'll have to write my own. But if there is something that's already available out of the box, I would love to hear from you guys.
What exactly you mean by log rotation?
Log rotation is so let us say there is a file, right? The chip is continuously writing to that file. Slowly, the log is going to increase and it's going to overshoot the flash size. So what we do is that we divide the entire log into number of files. So I could say that I want to have 8 files of 256 KB each, which counts up to 2 MB. So while the chip is writing to one log, all the previous logs are shipped back to the server. Okay. So the space gets emptied up. So I wanted to know if you guys knew of any C library that does this.
You can stream it, I think, because I'm working at Bowel right now. I'm a DevOps intern. So what we are doing is we were using Kafka for streaming, and then we were logging all the logs into the server, like in S3 maybe.
Right. So we are already using streaming because we are already, streaming to the file, and then the actual HTTP connection actually picks up that file and streams it back to the server. The biggest problem that we're running into right now is that in case the connection is broken or there is no network connection, then we need a way of, keep storing that log file on the chip itself.
Okay, so you want to keep it on the chip itself?
Yes. Yes. So we want to keep
As
it
a
on the chip
fallback mechanism, we want to keep
as a
that.
fallback mechanism.
Yeah. The only thing, I'm not that much I'm not that much of a guy like who can answer this, but the only thing I can think of is you will have to write something from scratch, and you will what you can do is, instead of logging every stuff, give them a number or something. Or you
Yeah,
can
that's what I'm doing. I've in fact already started writing it. Started
that
writing it
will
this morning.
and at the end maybe you can compress it in some way.
I don't have that kind of firepower on the chip to do a zip compression.
Yeah,
I would have loved
that's
it.
the problem. You have certain limitations, so compression is a bad idea. But again, like keep that as the end solution.
So
Like
I've reached
कुछ नहीं तो
somewhere.
यही सही है.
I've reached somewhere. My logs are rotating, but then the problem is I'm still not happy with it. And I wanted to know if there's a ready-made solution available.
Not exactly the solution, but I don't know of any library which is available directly to use. One thing which I encountered working for the workplace I work for, so we had some similar solution. We need to keep a track on network. So if network breaks, we need to do certain tasks. So the chip was very low powered, and there was no feature of pinging any server or checking for network connection again and again. So every Wi-Fi module or Ethernet module or any network chip, they have this register where they store a flag if that is still connected to the next hotspot. So we use that flag to check if that is connected to the nearest hotspot and able to do the connection. If not, then we are halting the mechanism of in your case sending logs, streaming logs. I remember we were using some chip from Viznet. Not really sure, but yeah, that they were having that.
Sure. Cool. Thanks, guys. So I'll probably have to bite the bullet and write something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'll open source it.
I'm sharing a link. See if this helps you in your case.
Oh, thanks.
That'll be great if you can open source. Oh, Libby event is there. Okay, so Zion wants to share something, the project he's working on, and the project is known as Magic Carp. Zion, do you want me to show, or you want to talk about it? You only, okay. So I'll just open, I don't know how to share my screen, so okay, let's see, present now, your entire screen.
Like after Ayan, everyone like if everyone can share their projects, what they are working on, what they have done.
Sure. So can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, so this is a project made by Zion and I believe Philomath and Shivam, contributed by Shivam. So this is a small attempt. So we have some stickers that ILD made, and the community members are going places around the world. And the idea was कि जहाँ भी community members जा रहे हैं वहाँ पे एक sticker लगा के they need to click a photo and submit it to this platform. So for example, we have a few stickers around India. So for example, this one is a photo, if you can see, at Pushkar Lake. So this is the Pushkar Lake ILD contributed by Shivam.
that was why I am. I
Yeah,
guess.
that was by me. Add my name there. And और भी थी अभी एक ही डाली है इस पे.
You are on Zion's old GitHub IO. Go to the yogdan.github.io.
मुझे ये लिंक दिया उसने.
हाँ यार ज्यादा होंगे, मैंने भी देखी.
ज्यादा था.
Yeah, okay.
One was in Tamil Nadu.
Yes.
Which was
There we are. So This one is contributed by me on Ashoka University bus, and if you can look very closely, that's we are marking our territory. This one is where it is. It is at a train station.
Silver, it,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, it is in Tamil Nadu, Chennai.
Yeah, and probably मैंने वो भेजी New Zealand वाली, so I have attached a couple of stickers in New Zealand. They're not yet there. So yes, again a great project to mark your territory around the world and telling people how the community members are going places. So good work there, Zion.
Dude, when they first told me about the idea, I was like, this is Pokemon Go, but with some extra steps.
Yeah.
Actually, Google has also done this, where they have this game around it where people mark their territory with something, and Google actually uses that data. So Google being Google, I guess.
So the
Google
project,
has this thing, right?
the project I told about when we were discussing this idea is something called dead drops. So what is a dead drop? You take a 8 or 32 GB pen drive and दीवार में छेद करके pen drive डाल के you do cement around it. So anyone in the community can come and they can post movies there, and other people can come and they can take movies from there. And there is a dead drop map around the world, so you can find where are all the dead drops, and you can also submit your dead drops there. So that is a neat thing to do.
I have one suggestion here. Satyam is talking about few. I think if we can hear from him what he wants to hear. So he
Satyam,
shared something about Apache Guacamole, something about Mapillary. So just to bring out some introvert people if they are not interested,
sure,
talking.
Sure. So Satyam sir, if you would like to unmute your mic and talk about. Hi, how are you?
Yeah, good.
Hi.
How you're holding up in quarantine?
I've been always working like this, so no issues for me. I'm busy, more busy than usual.
Awesome. Yeah, I've just seen a lot of links you have dropped in the chat, so maybe you can talk about them.
Yeah, one of the things I've been working now is like I would need a lot of volunteer work for COVID-19 in India now. So I've been consulting a company who actually tracked the Ebola patients in Africa. And they have a huge project which manages, it's all open source, which manages pregnant women in India, tracking them with all the, stuff. So now they have come out with an app for COVID-19 also. So that will be very, useful in coming days because the number of cases are going to go up. So already states like Pondicherry, who else? I think Assam. And there are a few more states. I'm going to talk to central government also. So that's going to happen. And apart from that, there is 2 projects which are happening with the Navy. And that is again a totally closed thing. It's not an open source work. Big Blue Button is doing well. I've been supporting them for last few years now. So I was able to help one guy, setting up load balancer using Big Blue Button for running schools and classes for like 1,500 people in Kosovo. Random stranger. I don't know him, but it's working well. So that's what is keeping me busy. Yep.
Awesome, great to hear.
And yeah, I'm upgrading Kafka, and what else I'm doing? Yeah, Kafka. Yes, one big Kafka upgrade is going to come because this project in India, we get almost like 50 million forms a day. That kind of traffic comes in. And now I have to write something to compress it now. So I'm writing those routines over. So that's it.
Sounds great.
Okay, so I have a question. Right, so for everyone. So I was currently working in Windows, like I was gaming a lot, so I thought just maybe set up my whole environment on Windows. So I just fired up a Ubuntu in VirtualBox, and now I can't get copy paste to work. So any suggestions?
Why don't you use WSL?
Yeah,
Sorry,
okay.
my question, Kunal, can you repeat?
So I can't get copy paste to work with Windows and Linux virtual machine in between those things.
There is something called xclip.exe. You will have to download it from GitHub or something, and then you will have to put it on the Windows executable path, and then you will be able to it will open a bidirectional copy pasting thing.
Yeah. So
One more thing. Did you install that? There is an extension, like
right.
extension for
VirtualBox.
that virtual box, right? Then only
I
those
did.
functions will work.
I did. It's still not working. So it's called VirtualBox Guest Editions ISO.
Right.
So yeah, I installed it. I restarted the whole thing, and it's still not.
Oh, acha, you are talking about VirtualBox. I thought you were talking about
VirtualBox probably has this option of a shared clipboard.
Yeah, in which you can change
Yeah,
it to
right.
bidirectional.
I'll use that as well.
inbuilt option.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's not working right now for me. So so in Linux VirtualBox it does. So I installed the VirtualBox Guest Editions. I enabled bidirectional copy paste, but it's still not working. So maybe
What are you trying to copy paste? Is it text? Is it
text?
Text. Okay. Another recommendation would be that you could open up a shared folder with VirtualBox, put in a text file there, and then copy from there.
Yeah, so that's one thing I can do. But yeah, so that's additional steps to do.
Also, if I may suggest, please get used to SCP. I mean, if you're going to go into Linux, please get used to SCP.
Yes, I am actually used to it. Right? Yeah, I'm used to it. So one of the
Gaurav makes a good point here.
गौरव का try करो. गौरव ने जो कहा है.
Gaurav ka point is
It
the
might
best.
work.
Yeah. So instead of SCP, I use something called FFTP. So FFTP is like
There's a saying.
reliable for me.
There's a good saying that 4 years of engineering, 2 years of masters, 7 years of experience, and the only solution is rebooting.
Yeah. So that's what my father would have told me if I asked.
Awesome. So I have a couple of projects I want to show which I've been working on. So I'll start with the.
But as in, shouldn't you do the setup thing first? या क्या करना है बताओ?
अभी राउंड रॉबिन प्रोजेक्ट चलता है, उसके बाद सेटअप कर लेंगे. ठीक है. So this is a small PCB which can you all see my screen?
No.
My camera, I mean.
No.
Okay, something wrong happened with it.
You have to open. Yeah. Now.
Okay, awesome. I need to. Okay, so this is a small PCB which came out recently. So this is a small project I've been working on. It's a breakout board for NeoPixel WS8212 LEDs, and the idea here is because this LEDs are daisy chains, right? You can have the output of one go to the input of other. So we have two connectors. This is called JST-PH connector on both sides, and also there are some holes for conductive thread. So what you can do is you can use it on your wearable project. So that is one thing, and I tested it and it's working. So gonna do a bit good solder mask next time. Other than this, I have worked on ILD and Hardware Hackers Club Learn to Solder batch. So the idea is we're having a soldering workshop soon, and I made this batch. So can you see my screen?
Yep.
So this is the batch I made.
Yeah.
So you can see it's a red color batch, but this is not the red. This will be a black. I'm not showing black because see the background is mixing with the foreground. So this is the official ILD batch for Learn to Solder, and I've designed it in KiCad. This will have black solder mask and white silk screen. This is the front, and this will be the back, where you can have two LEDs and one CR2032 coin cell, and there you can write your name, and this will use to have a small pin, so you can pin it on your clothing. So currently it's still in transit. I'm not sure if it's gonna show up anytime soon or not. And yes, I have tracked down one of the mistakes. So if you can see, I've put LED in series by mistake. So need to do another revision, but there's a small hack. I figured it out. So that's one thing. One last thing I want to show is I've been doing this Code and Solder weekly newsletter for almost 2 months now, and there I share about some of my favorite projects, my favorite podcasts, and favorite videos. So this is the last week. I do it weekly, every Tuesday. So there are some of the links I wanted to share. So you can lend your computer power for biomedical research, which is going on to develop vaccine for coronavirus. So how's the vaccine work is like? They'll give you a small shot of coronavirus itself, but that is like very small shot, so that cannot infect you. But your white blood cell, what they will do, they will register it and they will make antibodies for it. So you can lend your computer power if you're not using it to do some research. There are also some COVID-19 detection kits, open source, which you can help making. Some 3D printed assisted masks are there, and some open source ventilators are there. So I'm gonna share these links to the Telegram group which we're having, and if you want to contribute, you can contribute here, and from there pick the things. So yes, that is the small newsletter I do every week, and if you want to subscribe, you can DM me and I'll add you there. So yes, these are the things I've been working on, and who wants to go next?
I can. Like right now, I'm working with the Circuit Python board. I hope you can see this.
Yep.
So basically, these are cheap boards provided by Adafruit. And last year, I guess, Circuit Python Day, we had Adafruit only. So, this board provides many stuff. They inbuilt IR, they inbuilt buttons, switches, speakers, mic, and whatnot. So what I'm trying to do is using only Circuit Python. See, I have made some restrictions for this project. I'm not going to use C or something. I'm only going to use Circuit Python, and I'm going to make a all-in-one pen testing device. For now, what it can do is it can register IR codes. It can replay those. Other thing, I have re-implemented. What was the project name, Ayan? Match Alternate project.
Bhaiya,
Your mic is
mute.
muted. I do not remember the name.
TVB gone.
Yeah, so I have re-implemented TVB gone on the Circuit Python, which runs on this board. What TVB gone is, whenever you see a normal LCD or LED screen in public, they are like showing something. If that TV supports IR remote, you can turn it off using this. Let it be any TV or anything, you can turn it off with this. And other thing right now it can do is you can program 4 or 5 payloads in this. And by payload, I mean it is kind of a HID attack. So you can like connect it to some laptop using USB, and by just a press of button, HID attack will start. It is upon your payload. So for example, yeah, rubber ducky. Yeah, for example, if you want to grab a quick shell, and you have the access of that machine for like 10 or 20 seconds, all you want to do is just plug it and press a button, and boom, you have a shell. You can steal data using this. And a fun project that I have done with this is a Russian roulette project. Basically, you will have to get a friend who is agreeing to sign a sign NOC letter that he is not going to file any case on you. Basically, you both can play with this. There are 2 buttons on this. One of the button will be randomly selected on every boot of this board. So if you press that button only, you are safe. But if you don't, it will run a deadly command. Let it be Linux, Mac, or Windows. It will run a deadly command on that machine. For example, sudo rm or sudo rmrm or something.
So that
So
is
that is just
50% chance of losing the system, huh?
Yeah. So that's it.
You should call it Indian roulette, not Russian roulette.
Also, what I want to do is, I was searching for Ubertooth. How many of you know about Ubertooth?
Me.
About what?
Ubertooth.
Great Scott Gadget Ubertooth.
Yeah, so Great Scott made that board. It is kind of a like a starting generation of RF things. Now you have hack RF and all. So usse ek janam pehle chale jao, you have Ubertooth. So Ubertooth is a small board. So what I want to do is, if somehow I can redesign that Ubertooth, it can stick like right beside this board. So I will have RF things too in this board. So that will add more functionality. For example, if you want to steal a car, you can with this. But I'm giving you ideas.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Awesome. So who's next for show and tell?
Maybe I can go if
Priya
Yeah,
wants
is
to
ready.
say something.
Yeah, should I go?
Sure, sir. So what you
All
working on
right.
lately?
So, guys, there are a lot of good news from my side. First, good news is that we are building an open source software to automatically categorize ECG, which is electrocardiogram, into different disease levels. And we have quite a lot of papers with the algorithm and so on and so forth. We have some basic implementation in R also. And the good news is that after multiple rejections, ICMR has decided to fund it at the level of 3.68 crores.
Awesome. Great news.
Awesome, awesome, great.
So most of the money is in infrastructure, but still it's a huge encouragement for us because it's not just the money, it's actually validation of our idea. That's what we are excited about. Money will come when the things are working, and we are not, you guys know me very well. I was never terribly concerned about money. So it's a validation of what we have been proposing. So if anybody wants to contribute in this, you guys are most welcome. The way we envision it is that it will be a sort of web-based service, and you should be able to upload your ECG and know everything you wish to know automatically. Okay. And just to give you some ugly side of cardiology, 90% doctors cannot read ECG properly around the world, no matter what kind of training they get. And don't be confused if they're coming from Harvard Medical School. The sad news is that Harvard president himself has COVID. So a software is a huge requirement for consistency. Clinical science and medicine is a very inconsistent field where every doctor is a king. They go by their own rules. There is no agreement, nothing, no standards. It's very difficult to work with them. That's where hopefully the software will bridge some gaps and bring some sane knowledge base as compared to the anarchy prevailing right now.
Yeah, sounds really great. Hope we can have some breakthrough using this project, and
Indeed.
definitely we can. You can share all the open source links, and we'll put it to the mailing list in Telegram, and hopefully contributors will join.
Can someone please add me to Telegram group, please? I don't think I'm a member of that.
Sure, Vipul, please do the needful.
Yep, got it.
Okay, awesome.
And what I can do is that in turn I can upload all the scientific papers which you guys can read, because it's not just coding. There are some solid algorithmic ideas, mathematical ideas, and you also have to know a little bit about heart diseases and learn how to interact with doctors and stuff like that. So it's a multidisciplinary project, but I think it's very exciting in the sense is that our plan is to make it available to the poorest of the poor, people who can never imagine to go to a cardiologist and pay their hefty fees. So it can be given free service, and that's always has been the sort of one of the goal of open source is that to provide software services and computational services to the poorest of the poor. So here is a chance that we actually make this a reality.
That's great news. And even tomorrow, I remember someone signed up for show and tell. So he's a full-time doctor, but he's also into open source and coding things. So maybe you guys can talk about that as well.
Totally. And second piece of good news is that similar project is there on cervical cancer, but funding is a little less at the level of 70 lakhs. But given Amity is unfortunate attitude of letting us build the server and stuff, I think both projects will move out of Amity, because Dr.
Awesome.
Sodi is possibly the most inflexible person, and he does not believe in open source, unfortunately. So we have no option but to move the AI lab out of that place.
Wish you great luck for the projects.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I totally appreciate it. And single agenda is to use only and exclusively open source software, nothing else. As usual, we'll only pay for the hardware from Lenovo or some vendor who is like open source compatible, and take it from there.
Even better.
Actually, there are a few doctors on the Linux Telegram group, like ILEC Telegram group, from the DOI group. So you can maybe contact them.
Yeah.
The admin access access for it, so probably won't be able
Okay,
to.
so I'll
As in,
yeah,
I
just
can send Ayan the contact to add to
And
our
I'm
yeah,
meeting.
I'm
just
looking for more ideas. I'm always on the lookout for new ideas, synergy, and so on and so forth. And I would be interested in knowing about that software which is tracking pregnant women in India. Can I have a demo with it or some like link where I can read about its manual or something? What's going on at what scale?
I guess Satyakam sir has left. He said
yeah.
he said good night and left.
Satyakam has
Yes.
left, so maybe when we add you to the group, you can take this conversation there.
Sure. People, can you follow it up a little bit on my behalf?
Got
Yeah,
it.
sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So
Awesome.
can we do setups as in, since the call 1 hour 30 minutes now? So let's do the setups thing and then we can
Yeah,
wrap.
I think that will be all right. People can come and they can go as they want. But if anyone is so, this is more of preparing for tomorrow's show and tell, which is with Hacker Day. So if anyone else has some project, they can show quickly in 5-10 minutes. Maybe we can do that and we can move to the setup thing. So anyone online want to share their project in 5-7 minutes? That will
So
really help.
I can share the slides. That's all you guys want, right? If it's online, it's going to be slides only, right?
Yeah, sure. You can put that in the group.
Yeah. So what I can do is that tomorrow I can send you like a deck of slides, and then you can display the way you wish.
Yeah, that will be good. Shivam, you were saying something.
I want to show this tiny cube freeform circuit. That is my first project. That is made up of a brass wire, which is 20 gauss, I guess. Yeah. There is a tiny LED on it and a resistor. So I want to attach to what's the solar panel thing to it, but I cannot right now because everything is locked down. So it is not complete yet, but it looks cute to me. Yep.
Yeah, coming to this lockdown thing, I also left one project. I guess I'm not going to talk about it today. It will take some time. Let's move on.
One good source of solar panel is the Casio calculators. You can tear them down.
So Duncan took my calculator.
Okay. Any more projects we can see in 5-10?
Yeah, I have a project.
Go on, buddy.
Yeah, so could I start right now?
Yeah, sure.
So I built this project, I think, a couple of years ago. I did not probably show it to anywhere. I don't know why. It came to my mind. Maybe I could demo it tomorrow. Unfortunately, I broke down my OLED display. I learned that it does not have an inbuilt MCU and cannot prevent short circuits. So that's that. Apart from that, let me present my screen. So yes, remember, Firefox is not letting me do that. Okay, can you guys see my screen now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I have a bunch of images I clicked.
No, we
So
don't actually.
yeah, you can't see my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can continue.
We can see the screen.
So I took a bunch of images. This is how it was supposed to look. This is the generic mobile app that I built. Along with it, I know this is messy, but this is how it turned out in the beginning. So this is the main circuit diagram. What we have here is a Arduino Pro Mini, because initially I thought that I would package it into a 3D printed container or something, but 2 years back it was not very feasible, I believe, at least for me. Then we have a Bluetooth module right here, along with a simple I2C OLED display and a LiPo battery. This is how the app looks again. Some interface images, and this is how it looked without the USB. Apart from this, I would like to discuss a little bit, if I can find the code. It's supposed to be here. So I have the code with me. So this is what the code looks like. It was a very simple code. I utilized these two libraries and they made my life very easy. So it basically added a couple of
Manav, it would be better if you can post the code on GitHub or somewhere.
Yeah. The code is hosted upon my GitHub as well.
You are going to show the same project tomorrow, now?
Yeah, I'm going to show the same
Yeah,
project tomorrow.
share the link tomorrow or like share it right now. It's up to you.
I've added it in the form which is supposed to fill.
Nice.
Yeah, so generally in a show and tell, what we do is we show the project working live, or we show the photos and we share the links in the chat.
I could not show the project since my OLED display broke down, but I do have the circuit which I assembled here.
Yeah, awesome.
So maybe I can show that. So can you guys see this now? I guess it needs a little bit more light. Can you guys see the circuit?
No.
You will need to stop the screen share.
You
Then
have
the
to
webcam
stop
will
the
be
screen
visible.
sharing, yeah. Oh, sorry. So let's. Yeah. So is my webcam on now?
Yeah.
So this is what the circuit looks like. So right now we utilized my Arduino Uno since it was too much of a pain to get my micro out. I don't know, it's in some project
थोड़ा
or
अपनी
something.
तरफ कर सर्किट को थोड़ा अपनी तरफ कर या थोड़ा और
Better.
नहीं थोड़ा और जितना भी कराना उसका डबल बस बहुत सही
So I have this OLED display right here. Maybe I can power the Arduino. Just a second. The Bluetooth module was working just fine. I tested it out, but I could not. Hanji?
Is that HC05 Bluetooth module?
Yes, this is HC05.
Yeah, it's good, but it's time to upgrade to low energy modules.
Good.
This is like a very, very old project, and I had to spend almost a day upgrading all my code.
It's a great project to start with Bluetooth.
Yeah, so this is what it looks like: a simple OLED display, Bluetooth HC05, and an Arduino Uno. A very simple circuit diagram. Maybe I could add the touch button functionality tomorrow. So I was unable to find any of my touch buttons at home. I will look for it and maybe I can add them tomorrow.
Just a tip from not a pro guy, do not do it live because things don't work live.
No. I meant when I show this project tomorrow, maybe I can add a touch button. So anyway, this demo is not going to work because of the OLED display.
Yeah. So regarding touch button, if you don't have it handy, one way is to use a foil paper with a capacitor and make a.
Yeah, that is something I was really considering.
A simple RC circuit can also work like a touch capacitor touch.
Yeah. But I could not get a hold of this display. I'm really bummed about it. I really wanted a display and wanted to show the demo.
Sure, thank you for showing this. And
apart from this, just one more thing I'd like to discuss. Like it'll just take a second. This is not my personal project. This is an open source project I'm contributing to, but I think people will be interested in this. So can I take 1 more minute here?
Yeah, sure.
So can you see my screen?
Yep, we can.
Yeah, so this is an open source ground control station I am contributing to right now. Currently it supports only 3 types of drones. The ones by Parrot, I think 2 models, Anafi and Bebop, and Risetello drones are supported. Apart from that, all drones and vehicles that speak Mavlink are completely supported in this. So currently it's in its alpha version and it's being developed under KD. So I will be working upon the functionality of waypoint addition and I'll be developing a proper mission control station for this.
Awesome.
Great project. Thanks for sharing.
Nice.
Okay, who's next for show and tell?
Guys, I may not be ready for a show and tell tomorrow, but I can share some things that I'm doing.
That will be fine.
So, couple of things that I'm working on. This, can you guys see this?
I have, yeah.
Most of you know what this is, right? This was a.
So what are you going to do? Fly a 747?
Absolutely, I'm going to fly 747 on this. So I started this quite some time back, but I've been doing it in installments. So this is open source, available on the internet on GitHub. Uh, this has an Atmega 8 that is used to drive 5 channels. You can use it for robotics. You can use it for flying aero models, etc. Right? So this can control up to 5 channels, 4 analog plus 1 digital. And there is an LCD display here. I don't have the battery right now, so I can't show it to you. There's an LCD display here, and of course, so this is 3D joystick. You have one control here, one control here, one control here, and then there's a throttle control here, and then you have a final switch that works as the digital control. Of course, it's wireless, so you can hook it up to any of those radio transmitters. It generates a PPM essentially. So this was version 1 of this, and here I did the version 2 of the same thing. So the joystick was moved to a small controller, and of course it has a bigger LCD. It has got a throttle on the left hand side for flying planes, and of course an array of buttons that you can use to control stuff. So again, you could use this for 3D robotics or anything.
Add a detonator button too. Like it can drop a payload. Just add a detonator button. It looks like that only. I'm not going to lie. It looks so dope.
I'll leave that to you. I'll leave that to you. It's frankly open source. We use it for whatever you guys wish to.
Okay, I will come to your lab if I have time.
If you guys want to see the inside, that's how it looks like. It's complicated as of now, but I really want to, bring it down to something smaller. So that's it. Then the other project that I'm really working on, you guys know that I love flying, so I got hold of an Oculus and I wanted to fly in VR. But the problem that I faced in VR was that once you wear the VR headset and you have the controllers in your hand, you're practically locked from the world. You can't see anything around. So I could not really get hold of my joystick while I was flying. So I designed this. These are 3D printed. These are rudder pedals. So this is one side of the rudder pedal. This is still under development. It's a work in progress. But these move forward and backward. You can have a brake pedal here, and they're going to be mounted on a board with both of them parallel. And there's going to be a potentiometer in between, which is going to get hooked up to this. And this is going to be controlling the airplane. So that's what I'm working on right now. It took me a while to design this. I had to go through a number of iterations. Pehli baar maine banaya, I broke the rudder pedal the first time I stepped on it. So I had to redesign. I can show you how I did this. So essentially, there is a it's like a V channel here. And
is that a aluminium V channel? Like you 3D printed that?
This is 3D printed. I have a closer look. 3D printed.
Yeah, that is
so I printed it in 3 sections. Then I did some thermal welding here to make it one big piece. And the pedal actually is just a carriage with bearings up here that slide inside the channel, and there is a pedal that moves that's basically hinged using a bolt here.
Yeah.
So I intend to put some springs here so that this can spring back when I press it, and then I intend to put a small button here that's going to act as the brake.
So on the linear, I just by seeing it, I got this idea on the linear channel. We can do like a linear potentiometer, but we can also do a rack and pinion kind of setup.
Yes, that's what
I was also thinking that. Yeah,
I was planning to have 2 of them parallel, then have a crossbar in between, which kind of controls a central pod. The reason why I don't want to use linear bearings here is because I don't want to have any load on the because it's going to be operated by the foot. So I don't want to have any load on the potentiometer.
Right.
Essentially, I'm going to put a crowbar in between and then have the crowbar turn the rotary potentiometer. Really.
Right.
So that's another project that I'm working on. And what else? What else? So then this is the third project. This is a professional project that I'm working on. It's basically a wireless data terminal for SME manufacturers. So people who are manufacturing stuff. So for example, you've got small factories that are probably tailoring 1,000 dresses in a day, and they want to understand for how much time were their machines working, and for how much time were they not working. So this data terminal essentially connects to your local Wi-Fi and keeps sending that data back to your central server. And this is where I wanted that that logging wala code.
That's like a.
Do you have a lab at your home, Girish?
Yes, I do. You guys, I can't really carry my webcam. Otherwise, I would have given you some.
This is the worst part of quarantine. I cannot go to my lab. I cannot work on anything.
I was a
This is the
little
worst
smart.
part.
I ended up being a little smart. So I actually created the lab right next to my office. So when I get bored of sitting at the computer, I just sneak into the lab and start doing some stuff.
You are living your life, man. You are living your life.
Well, you're most welcome to I mean, now that the quarantine is on, you're most welcome to come and do anything you wish to.
You're most welcome to live a life too.
On a serious note, you're most welcome to come in anytime and just use the lab.
So, Ayan, are we do we have like couple of minutes? Like, I also want to share something.
Sure. Before that, I just have one question. So regarding that RC controller, what is the RF module which is being used?
So currently, I have connected it up to a FrSky DIY kit.
Is that the JR connector thing which comes?
Yeah, I mean, not really. I mean, if you look here, let me show it to you. If you look here, there is a DIY FrSky kit here. So this component is a FrSky kit. So it essentially binds to any FrSky receiver. And then the final thing that I really did, which really which made me really happy, was I added a trainer port to it, so I can connect it to my simulator.
Wow. So this one is generally CPPM input, right?
Yeah, it's a CPPM input here as a trainer port. And then I also added this little, battery box from Robu. So I can actually power it with two LiPo batteries, two 18650, which are commonly available. I don't need all those, fancy 3X batteries or 3Z batteries, etc., etc. So I can just buy them off the shelf and power it.
Mahesh Naidu, can you please stop presenting?
Awesome. Mason, you wanted to share some project?
Yeah. So Girish, I just wanted to ask something. Have you ever worked on NFC and all?
No, I've never really got a chance to work on it, on NFC.
So basically nowadays, not nowadays, before this quarantine and stuff, I was working with Delhi Metro cards. Those are basically on NFC. So for the past 6 months, I was like, trying to fuzz stuff whenever I travel. So I found couple of vulnerabilities. I found couple of vulnerabilities especially in the token system, not the card system. So basically now I am somewhat able to travel for free. So I just wanted to share this, and I also want to
Mason,
share
you are
that,
being recorded. Do note
sorry?
that. You are live on YouTube and this is
It's
being
all right.
recorded.
It's all right. It's all right.
Sorry, quick question. I'm not sure, if those tokens are NFCs or RFIDs.
They used to
basically, if those tokens are before 2014, they are RFID. If those are between 2014 and 2016, they are NFC. I do not know the model number. And if they are above 2016, so they are MF Ultra Light.
Animesh, can you?
Okay, all right.
All I want to say this, thanks to Philomath and all the guys who donated their tokens and all. So I also want to say this. Whenever you travel, like after this quarantine and stuff, whenever you travel, try to for those who are on the aqua line and all, those who are using the QR codes, try to send those QR codes to me, because I found some vulnerabilities in the aqua line too. So why not? Let's fuck everything up.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think the latest NFC standard is compatible with RFID anyway.
They all are.
Yeah, no, not the.
My fair is trying to do this only.
There was,
all right. You are talking about the card only, like
yeah.
All right. I thought you were talking about.
Yeah. Even the highway wala thing. What is the tag they're calling it? Fast tag.
They are using RFID. Yeah.
No, not RFID. They're using a proprietary protocol built on top of NFC, which is more like RFID.
So one more thing, you reminded me of something. There's something called extended RFID. XRFID.
Yeah.
So I was also making a DIY thing on extended NFC reader. So the end goal will be to sit around in Connaught Place or something, holding a bag and reading everyone's credit card numbers, and then replaying those two. Like that's the basic idea.
Yeah, so you'll be Sammy Kamkar of ILD.
Why not?
Listen.
Awesome. Okay, so do we have anyone else want to do show and tell? Because I think Vipul desperately needs to see some work setups.
Look, ये क्या हो रहा है शिवम? Shivam is making his gobi aloo project.
Okay,
Shivam,
so
no Shivam.
all right, so maybe we can start with if anyone wants to share your work setup, you can do that now. So that's the last thing we'll in this meetup, and then we'll meet again tomorrow for Hackaday Show and Tell. So if anyone wants to, do anyone wants to show their setups? Nobody.
Setup matlab PC or laptop?
Mine is laptop.
Working setups.
Dude, my working setup is a lot of wires जो बिल्कुल समेटे हुए नहीं है, एकदम एक के ऊपर एक उलझे हुए हैं.
ठीक है,
That's
तो
my working setup.
विपुल को देखना है तो okay, I'll do that. I'll take one for the team, and let me connect it from my phone.
For phone, I think you would have to download the app first.
Muted ho.
There I am.
So that is my setup right now.
Okay, someone else is sharing the setup.
दो जगह के माइक्स ऑन मत रखो, किसी भी एक जगह पे माइक ऑन करो.
This is not a problem with mic. आयान भैया अपने लैपटॉप का स्पीकर भी बंद करो.
अब कोई एक खोलो.
Is it better now?
Much better.
All right, there we go. So I'll start with the work desk. So दिख रहा है ना सबको?
नहीं, it's vertical. So how about just
This
rotate
way?
the screen?
This way?
Yeah, this way, yeah, right.
Okay, so that's my work desk. It's a pretty long work desk, and this can be converted to a standing work desk using these buttons you can see. So I think 10% of time I work standing. So that is 23-inch curved display I use with my MacBook. My MacBook is currently the one which I was using, so that is there. On the desk, I have this keyboard and mouse mat, cheap knockoff Apple keyboard because this desk broke me. And again, a very cheap gaming mouse, so I'm gonna change that very soon. There's a wireless charging there, which I also plan to, put it inside that, but I don't know when I'll do that. There is Alexa. A recent addition to my work desk is this beautiful succulent, which is keeping me happy during this quarantine. I have my pen stand and a calendar, and this is my work laptop, which I use mostly for PCB designing and all kind of things. So bookshelf there with some books I really like, a pen stand, and of course sanitizer because hashtag quarantine life. And yes, so this is a section if I can show you. This is like, yeah, that's my racing drones who are not able to see daylight since being locked down. Hi, that's Groot. Over here I have some of my dev boards. So again, a lot of different dev boards are here. Maybe some other day when we dedicated to talk about that. And
Can anyone hear?
postcards from around the world.
By the way, now you are.
Yep.
Okay. So I was telling about this is like different things I collected around the world and people sent me. So some travel friends sent me this postcard. This one is sent by Shivam, by the way, from Auroville. And this is another I added. So these are cactus basically in this small ecosystem thing, which is hanging from this place where I keep another set of collectibles. So this one I got from a Linux conference. That was my first camera, and that's in a while.
Oh, air owl, right? That's air owl, right?
Yeah, that is an air owl. I don't use that.
Oh, I also have that.
Don't use that at all. My helping hands, my gorilla pod, another set of owl. So yes, that's basically my work from home setup, and there's this my skateboard and footrest, and pretty much that's how it looks.
What
Yeah,
is the
that's
monitor? Is that a Samsung one or LG one?
yeah, that is a Samsung 23-inch curved display, 60 hertz, not 120 hertz.
Do you see any major advantages using a curved monitor compared to a flat one?
Not really. I would recommend to go with 120 hertz normal monitor than 60 hertz curved monitor.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, so that is what I call inspiration world. So Dragon Ball Z, Steve Jobs, Eminem, Iron Man, Vikings, a lot of things. Yeah, so
Missing that basketball.
yeah, that's
Sivam, Ayan Bhaiya is just giving away every possible location जहाँ से हम चोरी कर सकते हैं सामान. Next time अयान भैया के घर चलते हैं. इनके सारे goods चुरा लिए जाएंगे.
Everything is recorded.
I'll show you.
केसिंग चल रही है रॉबरी के लिए केस करता है ना.
I'll show you my small knife collection as well, but okay, we'll keep it everyone friendly. So yeah, that's it from my setup. If you want to see anything else, just let me know. Otherwise, I'll disconnect this call and join back from laptop.
I guess you should post a YouTube video on your entire setup.
I
वो
have
नहीं
that.
कर सकते.
I have
इनकी
that.
है एक वीडियो यार.
Yeah, I have that.
Oh, okay, cool. Cool.
Maybe dev boards का description जब कभी time मिले तो.
What's that?
Maybe dev boards का description.
Dev boards बहुत सारे हैं, so maybe some other time. Sure.
Hey Alexa.
अभी नहीं. जब वो अपने लैपटॉप जब वो अपने पीसी पे आएंगे तब.
All right, I'm back here.
मॉनिटर का स्क्रीन साइज कितना है?
27.
Also, like I was, if anyone else can, why I actually wanted to do setups is I wanted some inspiration ki yaar kaise lagta hai, because like once you start the setup discussion in remote people, they have like 100 different ideas. So I wanted to see some practical ones to do for my first setup, because if you see my setup, it's just a laptop with wires going all around like Mason, and not a very good table, and like the chair is also broken. To refurbish everything.
So the stable stand is available on Amazon. I think it's for 20,000 rupees, which I got, which you can elevate. And I asked the person who did my interior to have a board lock out of this size, and I assembled it.
Do you actually need the footrest?
I thought I will need, but I don't unless I'm elevating my chair to full extension. Otherwise, I don't.
So it's
But
also available on.
I like to keep my feet on ground all the time, like while working. So if I am elevating the chair and it cannot reach to the ground, then I use the footrest.
So is the standing desk helping out, like
a lot?
That thought?
So there is something called a fluid stance. It's a kickstarted company, I think, in Germany. It has this skateboard kind of footrest thing which you can use to roll back and forth while working on a standing desk. I'm looking forward to get that soon. But other than that, yes, I work a lot on standing desk, and it really changes how you work, and it's really great. Highly recommended.
I have a question here. So, I plan to have a really good desk setup, but how would you recommend someone for a setup like we who don't have a permanent home? Like me, I don't live in Delhi, but I would still like to have some kind of setup. Making a setup as extensive is not really possible when you live in a rented house. So you need to have minimal things easier to move around. I can't get a standing desk because it would be hard to move around.
That is true.
So maybe what kind of things you can do with minimal investment and which could be easier to move around between places or even sometimes between cities. Any kind of around, yeah, like that.
Yeah, so when I was in Hyderabad, I've seen a lot of modular desks available at IKEA. So IKEA is basically known for modularity. So you have to assemble all the furniture yourself. That is one drawback, if you could say. But again, there are some modular desks which can have 2 or 4 folds. You can carry it in your hand, but that is again very convenient if you are moving house quickly, like once in a year or once in 6 months. That is something you can look for.
Okay, so here's my setup.
अरे उसको पूरा तो करने दे राजू, कुछ और क्वेश्चन.
Yeah, we can.
Show your setup, then first you show your setup, then I'll ask the questions later on.
Yep.
Let's see everyone's setup, then we can discuss.
So it's a simple setup. So I have a like single dongle mouse and keyboard, a laptop screen, and monitor, and that's it, and a gamepad, and a lot of math.
Same setup, to be honest.
No, as in like with setup. Alok, can you show the video again? What I
By the
wanted
way,
to ask with
just want to show one thing. So there is my hidden speaker. That's a really great and cheap speaker if you're looking for. That's a MI soundbar. Really amazing and costs very cheap. That's something you can also consider. Yeah, continue.
Okay, so someone wanted to see my setup again. Yeah.
Yeah, so what I wanted to actually know, like extending from Raju's question, I am in the same situation again, that I'm not in I'm not in my own home, or probably won't have a very permanent base of operation type thing where I can make the entire setup, then I have to change again. So how does that fit in, with people who are working full time? How do you, not even the desk, but all the hardware? Because once you are setting up your desk and once you are getting it all started, you have to think about a lot of things.
Yeah,
This would fit here.
Yeah, so that's one thing. That's why I have this mouse and keyboard. This keyboard is really small, and this mouse is really small, and they all are operated using one dongle. And the next thing is just the monitor. So whenever you move, you have to just move the monitor, and that will cost you like I don't know, but you have to move the monitor, and you will get the desk, and rest everything is normal.
What keyboard is it?
I think it was MK225 from Logitech, but I'll just link if I can find it on the Telegram group.
Mouse is pretty good. It's that MX Master something or something.
I think it's called the Lightspeed technology by Logitech. So the mice which use Lightspeed technology are very good from Logitech. They have like ultra low latency. Mine is a normal one, so it's okay, I guess.
Logitech MX Master, I think, is a go-to choice for everyone.
Yeah, but that's actually too expensive.
You have a USB hub right there. Do you?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one USB hub there, so I'll quickly show. There are two USB hubs. One is attached. Maybe try muting mic. I can. Yeah. So there are two USB hub. One is attached at the bottom of my table, which I cannot move. Other than that, I'm using this. This is a hyperdrive dongle for MacBook because longer life. This is having a micro SD, USB-C, full-size USB, and HDMI, and attached to that is another USB hub. This is a USB 3.1 pipe. So works really well for me. So these are two USB hubs I'm having.
Yeah, I just asked because I recently got a USB hub, which I'm using right now. It's a really good one. It's by TP-Link. Uh, it has 7 ports, all USB 3.0. Right now, I'm having 6 of them being used. It's good.
Awesome. I think at one time most of the USB I use is not more than 5, so this works for me for now. But yeah, good to have 8.
Something. Hello.
Yeah.
I accidentally got disconnected, and something that I really wanted to ask in this group of people was, and yeah, we were having this discussion. I think in the last Jitsi Wala call as well. Like, what laptop to buy right now? Because since I was thinking to go for matching, what do you all suggest right now? Oh, true. Yeah, I guess a lot of container work would be there. Probably, yeah. I am also pretty unsure. Like what my work there is. It's all about like containers and development. So not a lot of RAM usage
Yeah,
probably.
so if you like to work on a lot of content and it's a lot of mixed things, then you can go with Acer Swift 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the Swift 5, the one is like $90,000. It's but it yeah.
Yep. No. I'm probably not. The documentation thing is like separate. Um, uh, no, not content at all. It's software engineering, like coding.
Yeah.
Yep. True. Members, as in, I was thinking to go for a MacBook, but then I think the last discussion that we had, where probably there are better alternatives to a MacBook. So I was thinking maybe to ask here.
Yeah, so when I go looking for a laptop, I see two things. So if it can be charged, if my phone and the laptop can both be charged using the same charging brick, so the laptop should support USB power delivery. Like I think all of the ThinkPads support USB power delivery, so you can just pop up the charger of the ThinkPad and plug it in your phone, and your phone will charge as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one thing to look for, and another thing is like lightweight, right? So when you're working on a lot and you're shifting from this place to that place, you need a lightweight laptop. So lightweight comes to my mind. There are two things: LG Gram and Swift 5. Both laptops are 990 grams, and that's mind blowing. Yeah. So, but the LG Gram is it lacks a lot of features, but what it gives is upgradability. So there are two M.2 slots in LG Gram, so you can add more SSD and more RAM. But in Swift 5, there's no upgradability. So you have to you get what you buy. That's it.
Right.
So I think for me, I tend to go for very very light laptop setup because I want to make it more portable. So I just go for a PC at home. Uh, put all your services there so you can access it remotely and use a very light machine to pipe it in whenever you want. That's what I do. So I have a PC running in a different room, which is quite powerful. It's running Linux, and I have been using MacBook for almost 8 years now, and I'm happy with my setup.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
XPS is also good. XPS. Yeah.
हाँ, XPS पे display भी बहुत अच्छा है, but it's just that I'm not sure why they have put the camera नीचे, but display is pretty good too. Yep. Mhm. Yeah, I am also thinking of, like Alok said, like very important point that I really want is because I right now have a very bulky idea pad, and that is also 15 inch. I was thinking like to कोई भी लैपटॉप खरीदना है, it should be at least 13, like 13 के ऊपर तो जाऊंगा ही नहीं. So I was thinking maybe, if in June, like Apple is releasing, like they are shutting down their entire 13-inch wali line, like they did with the 15-inch, and they are going with 14 inches and 16 inches now. So maybe when they are upgrading to 14-inch, they will increase the RAM or probably something like that. So like 13 inches, what I'm going for. And yeah, XT Carbon is like X1 Carbon is pretty good. ThinkPad का मैं वो सोच रहा था. I was also thinking of Spectre. Spectre जो नए वाले आ गए, those are pretty good as well, but they are very expensive.
So
and very flimsy.
But also
बहुत
like HP, like most of the times, like the previous laptops that I had, most of them had like power delivery issues. So even though the processor could boost up to a maximum frequency of like let's say 4 gigahertz, it will boost only up to 3.5 gigahertz, not because of thermal limits, but because of power limits.
Right.
So that is something. Plus, also HP never puts like a high voltage battery in their laptops. So yeah. So let's say LG Gram. LG Gram has a 72 watt hour battery and it's like 990 grams, right? And I think Mac Pros has like 60 watt hour or 48 watt hours. Like it's still less than what it is, and HP is still like 48 and 43 watt hours. So it won't give you a big battery backup. LG Gram is $70,000.
Yeah, with HP, I really didn't want to go with HP as well because their maintenance is very costly, and I think that's same with Apple, but Apple has a very tested and sure build quality.
So Apple, you're giving most of the money in the ecosystem and build quality.
Right.
So if you have like a lot of unique style work, you can go with Apple, like blindfoldedly. But it doesn't give you as much of things for the price that it is.
True. But someone has anyone your like Raju? I'll just one last thing. Has anyone seen an X1 Carbon like in their workplace or something? Is it like lightweight and portable? Like I know the build quality is pretty solid. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. I think Carbon में एक और चीज जो बहुत अच्छी करती है Lenovo is like the HD screen that they have. Mm-hmm. Right. I am not going for a. Uh-huh. Since मेरा जैसे remote ही हो रहा है, so I am thinking of buying a good monitor. So display won't be, a prime factor. Raju, you were saying something.
So I was saying that the setup that Ayan mentioned, you should probably think on that line. If you're getting a smaller laptop, 13-inch or 5-inch, so Ayan uses a separate desktop. You could have a setup wherein you carry around your laptop, but when you get back home, you just attach it to a docking station or something, and you have a desktop-like setup at home. I use something similar at the moment. So I have a separate keyboard and a table setup at where I live, and I carry my laptop between my office and home. So I just it has a hassle of attaching a few cables, but it's a good enough setup. So you can have one or two big monitors at your home. So you don't have the disadvantage of screen size, and you still can, and you should have a laptop which can process all these things like multiple monitors and stuff, and enough ports and stuff, or a good drive.
Yep. So yeah, what I had in mind was like a medium grade laptop, not high performance or something. 13-inch and a good RAM, monitor, and just basic keyboard and mouse. That's what I wanted to like just like Ayan and Alok showed. Because right now I didn't want to go all out, but just a functional setup that I can carry around the 13-inch, and then when I come home, or since I'm already always home, so I can just use the monitor.
Yeah, you can always go for XPS 13. So it's like a tank of a laptop.
Yep.
Raju have one question. Yeah, Raju, please go ahead.
So I have been looking to buy a monitor for where I stay. So I looked into different things. Initially I thought I should probably get two different monitors side by side, or if probably one in a vertical position and one in horizontal. So or do you guys recommend? I also looked at curved monitors, but Ayan has an opinion on it, so it should probably be that way. The other thing is, what are your opinions on ultra wide screens? So, ultra wide screens or two different monitors side by side? What would you guys prefer? So, any opinions on the screen sizes? I wouldn't be going two monitors for sure, but I still want to know that because I don't want to carry two monitors when I move around. One is probably more than enough.
Are you going for a like in the two monitor setup that you are telling? Are you going for a vertical and a horizontal?
So vertical and horizontal setup says it requires a stand, and a stand requires a good table.
Yep.
I don't have a very good table. I have a foldable one which I just fold around and then I carry it.
Same situation with me as well. Yep.
I think if I have to redo my setup, because this is a setup I built over a couple of years. This is not something like I went shopping to Nehru Press and I got everything at once. So if I have to redo my setup, I'll definitely go with ultra wide monitor. I'll give you my reasons for that. So I have this OCD problem, so I cannot deal with that border between two different screens. I cannot do that. I know people who can do that, but that's something not for me. So that is a personal thing there. My most of my workflow is programming, video editing. So it's ultra wide screen. Amazing wallpapers are there for ultra wide screen, so that is a small thing, not a deal breaker. One of the things which I really like ultra wide monitor is there are some open source packages that allow it to use as split screen monitor without the physical border between. So it gives you the impression of using two different screens. So for example, if you have a MacBook, you can do like you can run Windows as a service. What I'm going to say by that is like just to switch between Windows and Linux. And if you have an ultra wide monitor, you can use that open source package to give it a split screen. So setup which I'm planning to do very soon, I'm definitely going for ultra wide screen.
Means like 27-inch or 34 or like what?
So it's not about inch; it's about the ratio between the vertical and the horizontal distance.
Yeah, aspect ratio is there, but also I think it's the diagonally thing. But you consider ultra wide? I'm not really sure.
No. So you have 32 inches ultra wides, and they are perfectly normal looking.
So it's 34-inch, and the resolution is kind of 2560 into 1080.
The one that you sent here.
Yes.
Okay.
And monitors are getting ridiculously cheap these days. So when I bought this one costed me around 30,000 rupees, and it's now retailing for I guess 16,000 rupees only. So I don't know. Ultra wide I think still are a bit expensive, but I think it's worth. But yeah, 120 hertz is something which I would definitely go. So this is a deal breaker for me. So I'm going for 120 hertz. I'm not buying another 60 hertz monitor.
Yeah. So one thing to consider, like people are confused about the technology. First thing you have to do is like look for IPS monitors before any refresh rates, because some refresh rate monitors, like you get a 120 hertz refresh rate monitor and then you get a TN panel, and TN panel is good for nothing.
Oh,
right.
Oh, I don't know about that one. What do you mention that?
Yeah. So there are like generally there are two types of you have the TN panel, also called VA panels, and then you have the IPS panels. Right. So VA and TN panels are generally like the worst quality. Right. So you get the high refresh rate, but the text doesn't look as crisp, the movies doesn't look as great, and everything. So first thing you have to do is like go for IPS monitor, then higher refresh rate. Yeah.
Okay, so IPS and 120 hertz. That's what you suggested.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I didn't know about that one.
Because even I thank you for that, because right now I'm going through Amazon searching for products, but it's just that the technology is beyond me. So someone needs to hold the hand.
Yeah, I think Alok is the guy. He knows a lot about things. So
Yep.
we can.
Even with mouses and keyboards, like even if I'm going for a basic one, the reviews that you have to read, even I'm going for got a wish from someone. It's someone else's wish list. Taking it slow from here only. So here it is, and you can tell me if it's no. This is the yep. I'm also learning CSS, so somewhat.
Then
Yep,
Neha is
this is the wish list.
a lot these days. That's pretty good.
Yeah, what I actually started doing with remote, since I'm trying to get into that remote schedule, I'm trying to get one random by someone or something, or just to get that normality, because right now I'm doing a 6-hour schedule where I do 3 hours of deep work and 1 hour of meetings or stuff. So that's what I'm trying to build or get into. So I saw the CSS workshop. It was pretty good. The slides are pretty good as well.
Yeah.
So if someone wants to get into the bilkul basic, like she started from creating the CSS file. So it's pretty good, I guess. Try on CSS, but check out the wish list though.
Kudos to her.
Yeah, as in I saw the slides. It was very good. Like she made them all on paper or all on iPad, I guess.
It's really cool. So yeah, talking about AMA sessions and all, please do open the issues on iLeakD GitHub. And the plan is कि आज या कल में will finalize a calendar for next 2 weeks and we'll share it everywhere. And everyone also helps in putting that word out, because like virtual meetups are the only thing that will help us keep us sane, other than the normal things which we are doing. So I think we had a really, really amazing session today. It's overwhelming and more than I expected. So yeah, had really fun hanging out with you all. I guess we reached 25, 27 participants at max.
Yep, total.
Yeah, maybe people can tell us that. So it was really fun talking about different things, different projects, and everything. So if anyone have anything to say, this is the time, and then maybe we can wrap up.
Oh yeah, I just remembered. In other news, my research paper got published. Right now.
What's that?
My research paper just got published this month.
Okay, so you passed.
Hmm?
Congrats.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Congratulations. So what was the research paper about?
Connecting, it was about brain-computer interface with our daily smart devices like smartwatch and stuff.
And was it for a conference or journal or something?
Yeah, it was for a conference.
Awesome. Congratulations.
CIPR
Awesome.
2020.
Awesome.
And it also won the Best Paper Award.
Wow.
Oh, that's really cool.
That's great. Just remember to post it on iLeakD as well. Yeah, so we everyone knows.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll publish.
Yeah.
Maybe you can give another AM session about this after, like, tomorrow maybe.
Hey, can I discuss about it in the show and tell session tomorrow?
Yeah,
That's what I
sure.
was saying.
Sure. That will be great.
Maybe I have the slides. Maybe.
So we'll not do slides on show and tell. You just need to come and talk about your project.
Yeah, maybe I can discuss the paper. Whatever.
Yep. These sessions will happen daily.
Yeah, almost daily is the plan.
And Raju, I sent this wish list if you want to check out. So I'm trying to, get all the items. So if you want to have something taken from them, you can just steal that.
Yeah, I checked that. And the thing is,
It has that monitor that you.
it has a curved monitor. I don't want that actually.
Yeah, and both the monitors have a VA panel, so that's one thing to look out for.
Okay, yeah. IPS panel is something that
IPS 120 hertz.
Okay,
So I
IPS
think
panel.
IPS 120 hertz will be a lot expensive. Yeah, so you can go for like 90 hertz IPS, like just
There are a few monitors with 144 hertz. Like
so that won't be IPS.
So what is, as in just for knowledge, I guess, what is the difference like IPS and VA? So
Yeah, so VA is like an older technology. It offers more contrast ratio, I guess, but IPS is like the go-to screens for everything right now, apart from OLED.
Mhm.
So the screens on your phones.
Right.
So if it's not like a very like a 50K or above phone, it will be IPS, and now it's OLED basically, AMOLED
Like
and OLED.
there was like CRT, cathode ray tubes. Then there was LCDs, liquid crystal display. Then LEDs, right? तो LEDs में क्या होता है, छोटे छोटे pixels होती हैं LEDs के, and they become a panel. So to make a panel from these LEDs, there are different technologies like OLED, AMOLED, Super AMOLED, IPS. And IPS is, I think, in-plane switching thing. So it's low powered. It's generate less heats, and the probability of a pixel going dead is like very very low. The AMOLED and OLED are very very expensive, so they are more common for phone because size, and it's not more common for TVs and monitors.
Mhm.
But the best technology you can get for monitors is IPS as of now. And
Right.
refresh rate is basically, so there is a brain in every monitor which takes input from your graphic processing unit, and it tells the LEDs which LED to turn on at what time and with what color. It means the communication between the GPU and the monitor is fast. So 120 hertz is like 120 times in 1 second. So
Right.
in gaming and video streaming and everything. So, and you can actually feel the difference. If you see a 60 hertz monitor side by side to 120, you can actually feel the difference.
And if you're like familiar with an like i3 based, like window manager based environment with no animations and all, you can probably go good with a 60 hertz. Like it won't do you any bad. But if you're like in a smooth environment like Windows and Mac OS, the difference is huge in animation.
You can put it like this way, that if you are mostly programming and doing some development stuff, then you can go with 60 hertz monitor. But then, of course, don't compromise for IPS. Definitely go for IPS, and maybe you can then go for 4K. So your cost will come down because of add the same money which you're putting on 120 hertz to going 4K. You can invest in that. So 4K 60 hertz versus 1080p 120 hertz, that is you can easily make.
Yeah. So if you're like mostly coding, it will be better if it's 4K or 2K rather than like high refresh.
2.7K.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, I think it's time to conclude, and it was amazing hanging out with you all, and gonna do this every alternate day or so. Tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. for show and tell with Hacker Day, and there will be people joining from around the globe. And if you even don't have anything to show, just stop by and hang out. So you don't really need to have anything to come. Tomorrow it will be on Zoom, so you can use Zoom on your web browser or client. I prefer client. So link is in the poster. I think it's bit.ly/Zoom show and tell. So if you have any suggestions how we can make it more practical and how we can make it more inclusive and productive, you can put it in the Telegram channel. And there is one thing I want to say, that we do not need to do everything technical, so we can also do non-technical stuff. One thing I'm planning to take a session on, not me, the folks on the community, is like how to make good resumes, how to make your LinkedIn profile stand out, and everything you can think about it. Maybe your hobby. So I've been doing some other hobbies. We can talk about that as well. So yeah, thank you very much for stopping by, and see you tomorrow. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
And we do have that music jam also, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Zion. माझा खत्म हो गया पीछे का